I think that a real estate rock star would be someone who runs their business as they want to, who runs their financial stuff like they want to, who is building wealth while building others. And so I think that really it's going to be different for every single person. But for me, I think it's all about freedom because I love freedom. I want the freedom to work from where I want to work, do what I want to do, and live where I want to live. And I think that really by doing all those things, that's going to allow me to live that life of freedom that I have worked so hard for.
Hello and good morning and happy Wednesday, everyone. My name is Justin Nimergood. I'm your host of the Real Estate Rockstars podcast. I'm so thrilled for the guest that we have on with us today. Personal friend, amazing realtor, and just extraordinary woman, Miss Dawn Loding. Just a little bit about Dawn. She's passionate about helping real estate professionals grow not only their business, but their mindset, leadership, and long-term success. She's a realtor, speaker, mentor, and Texas area leader with Epique Realty, where she also serves as the director of the content team. With more than 2 decades of experience in real estate, Dawn has built her career around empowering both clients and agents. As a team leader, real estate trainer, and mindset coach, she combines practical business systems with personal development to help agents build sustainable, scalable careers. Her leadership philosophy centers on creating a supportive environment where education, accountability, and positive mindset drive long-term success. In addition to serving buyers and sellers across Texas, Dawn founded Freedom to Flourish in Real Estate, a coaching and education platform designed to help real estate professionals unlock their potential through workshops, personalized coaching, and actionable business strategies. Her mission is to help agents transform not only their production, but the way they think, lead, and serve others. Known for her passion for long-term for relationship building and agent development, Dawn believes the lasting success comes from combining strong systems with the right mindset, helping people turn real estate into a career that truly flourishes. Dawn, without further ado, welcome to the show.
Wow. Thank you so much for having me, Justin. I am so excited and what a great intro. Like to hear kind of my life story and all of my work put into into an intro and you nailed it. Like so much of that is exactly what I have built my life around.
Yes, yes, you are. When I think about servant leaders and what that word means, and you and I have had a lot of discussion about this offline and other conversations. Obviously, we're good friends now and whatnot. I think about you though. I think about you. I think about some other folks at Epic as well, but I definitely think about you. What I'm curious about, what is the project that you have going on right now that is like that you're most excited about? Because you've got a lot going on right now. What's the thing that most excites you?
Wow. Okay. So yeah, I do have a lot going on because I still sell real estate. I lead a team. And so that I've been doing for so long, it's just kind of like second nature to do the real estate side of it. So I think in choosing one area that I'm working on, it is building my organization at Epique Realty through my you say coaching, and I get called a coach, and I even call myself a coach sometimes, but I don't actually have a coaching program that I charge for. I do everything that I do for free, and I do it inside of a platform in called Agents of Abundance. And so everything about Agents of Abundance is my baby. And I speak on stages. I do all of these things around helping agents make the shift from living a life in scarcity and fear to living a life in possibility and abundance. And that's a long journey for so many people, especially women. I'm just going to say, like, especially women, because I'm also part of a Power Girls group, which is a women's empowerment group that we have. And, you know, I work with a lot of women, and we struggle so much with our identities, with making big decisions, with running our businesses while running our families, all these different things that really just lead us to this scarcity mindset. And from that space, you can't create the systems or the life that you want to live. And so you really have to work on your mindset. And so Agents of Abundance is all about that. From my podcast to my weekly coaching call to just everything that I do. Yeah,
That
that's my
that's
project.
That's incredible, Don. And let's dig into that. I like how you said that it's, something that you feel like women struggle with in particular.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? I mean, what is it about women that struggle with that particular topic? And
Well, and I know there are some men, so I don't mean to leave men out of this and in any way. And I do work with several men, but for the majority, 95% of the agents that come to me and want help are women. So that just naturally ends up being my audience. And so I think a lot of it has to do with our emotional nervous system. I don't think that that and I don't want this to turn into a men versus women thing, but I'm just going to talk about the women. We have, we're moms, we're raising our families, we're doing all these different things, sometimes as single moms, sometimes as married moms, but we also want these huge lives, these businesses. We want to be able to travel. We want everything these days as
Mhm.
women, but the finding the space to balance all of that is what is hard because we're trying to do all of this, but our emotional nervous system is is it's a battle that we fight constantly. And then you throw in hormones and it's like game on, battle on. And so yeah, I really think that we have to really work. I have this analogy and it's these two rivers and um sorry, Justin. Of course, the joy of working from home is having dogs that
Oh
normally
yeah,
lay down, but I have a dog right now who normally lays down, but she wants to, like,
she
do
wants
all
to be
these
part of
things.
the conversation.
She does, but she's not, and so I'm so sorry. I may have to get up and put her outside of my office in a minute, but, um, back to the women and the like, right there, there's an example, like, I could sit here and just freak out about that and lose my focus and all of that, but instead, I'm gonna get refocused because I have the emotional, nervous system where I can do that, but I've had to work on that for years. Whereas years ago, I probably wouldn't even wanted to be on this podcast because I just would have been like, "Oh my gosh, like, I'm scared, I'm living in fear, I don't wanna do it." And so, it's just really a lot of work to get your mind and your body to work together to do these big, big things.
That's a really good point, that your mind and your body have to be in sync, right? They have to
Absolutely.
work together. Now, you mentioned Agents of Abundance. I obviously had the pleasure of coming on your podcast. That was such a fun time. But Agents of Abundance it's really everything that you're kind of doing, right?
Mhm.
It's sort of who you are. It's what you stand for. Um, what's the vision of Agents of Abundance? Where's that going to be in the next 5 years?
Oh my goodness. I hope that I will be helping a lot of people find a space of peace, of joy, of happiness, of contentment, of calm while running six-figure businesses in
Hmm.
real estate. We want to do so many things in real estate. I feel really blessed that I opened the real estate door 20 almost 25 years ago, and I started selling real estate. But I also was very curious, like, what other doors is this opportunity going to open? And I'm a risk taker. I will go for it any day over holding back. I will just do it, go for it. So back then, I really didn't know what was in store, but I feel like, there's other doors of opportunity on the other side of getting your real estate license. You could be an investor, you could be a coach, you could be a builder. Like I think of myself as an organization builder working at Epique Realty, and I'm just
Mhm.
inviting all of my friends and my audience and everyone to use this as their, vessel to work in their favor for their business because of the opportunity that we have here, the tools that we have. In my opinion, it's the best brokerage out there, and so that's my goal for Agents of Abundance is to speak on stages, to help more people get clear on what opportunities are out there and start living in more possibilities. So I already have the podcast, I have the group, I have a live call every week. I do a monthly call called Scattered to Scheduled, which I help women or and men. I help everybody on that call really tune into why they're so scattered, why they want to blame ADHD for not getting things done. And so I recently found my own coach. Her name is Emily Judas, and she's amazing. She has nothing to do with real estate, but has everything to do with our emotional nervous system. And I'm learning
Wow.
so much. And what I'm learning is how to weave what I'm learning from her into the space of what I do for real estate agents and how I help them get through and go to that next level, to break through ceilings and get to the next level. So, I have
And
pretty big plans for it, but at the same time, I'm kinda like, "You know what? Let's just see what happens."
Well, but that's what I love about you is that it's you balance the practical with the vision. You know, you're a visionary, but you also try to balance it with the practical. And obviously, you're helping tons of people along the way. I love that you've really dialed into this concept around the central nervous system because you and I have talked about NLP before and some of these other concepts that make people effective communicators, for example,
Yes.
right? So I love that you're really dialing in on that because I think that's a underserved market. It's a really underserved market, and it's not just. I mean, I know you said women, but it's not just women.
Yeah,
I
I
know
know.
I've found myself back in the day having that misalignment with my own
Yes.
central nervous system and being
Yeah, we talked
afraid
about
to
that.
be abundant and
Yeah.
whatnot, and then having to break free from that. So kudos to you for helping all the people that you are, Don. Absolutely fantastic work. Now, at Epic, you are one of the leaders. Obviously, you are leading a team. Let's talk a little bit for a moment about your work on the content team. I think you guys are doing some amazing work there, right? You
Oh.
and Sylvia. Um, what tell us all about that and what is the most exciting stuff that you guys are working on right now that you can actually share with us? I know some of it you might not be able to.
Well, that it's almost like it's my dream job, but it's not really a job. It's a voluntary position that I hold at Epic as the content team director. And Janice, one of our founders, had come to me almost 3 years ago because my 3-year anniversary was just in July, and it was shortly after, while we had only a few hundred people, and they were creating or figuring out what needed to be created, and she said, "I would like you to be the content team director." And I was like, "I don't know what that means, but sure, sign me up." Like, "Okay." And I got a whole team of agents who were volunteering. Remember, we're in the very beginning, and this is a startup company, so we're not getting paid for this stuff. And so you have to come to the table with a servant's heart for this role. And so do my team members, all the people that are on my content team. And so, we were training the area leaders, and so that was the first, task that we had to do. So we set up a 4-week training and we did that. We still do that to this day. But then I had an idea and this is big because this is one of my favorite stories and I don't think I've ever got to really tell it fully.
Ooh.
But on the content team, we meet weekly and we meet not weekly, biweekly now, but back then we were like, "Okay, what can we do? What can we do?" And our area leaders, we were helping the area leaders learn how to do basically some real estate stuff. And I thought, why are we not teaching this to all of the agents? And I come from a brokerage where the doors were all closed. Like they used to have signs on the doors that said, do not disturb, right? And they're
Huh,
protecting. So I'll give
yeah.
them the benefit of the doubt. But I always wanted to know more about what they're doing on the other side of that door. Like, why are they successful and why do they want to keep this a secret? And I've never been a fan of that. Something else that I've never been a fan of is the 80/20. Like, that's another one of my pet peeves is like that title. Oh, I'm only one of the 80%. I only want to do this part-time. I don't know of an agent who really truly in their heart only wants to do this part-time. They want to do it full-time and they want to get rich doing it. Like
Yeah.
that's the cold hard truth. But the thing is that they don't know how and they don't have enough faith in themselves to go be one of the 20%. So that is what it is. So I had closed doors. I had that rule of the 80/20, and I always hated it because I truly do come with the heart of a servant. And so I went to our founders and I remember it so clearly. And I asked them if I could do a series at Epic called Epic Essentials. And I wanted to bring day-to-day training from live agents who were actually in the field doing the work, who were doing all the things. And I had this group of leaders who were willing to lead it. And so it was we all kind of came up with the idea, but once I took it to them, we named it, went back to the team, and then it just the rest is history. Like we have daily live training where we have, you know, 30 to 70 to 100 agents on daily
Wow.
learning how to do all these amazing things in real life, and it's been one of my favorite things. So that's,
Absolutely amazing.
yeah, my job and my role as the content team director is to find the right people, know where they go, put them in the right place, and then organize the team. And then I got Sylvia Dana. Miss Sylvia Dana came on board and she 10x'd it. Like it was just a casual little thing. And then her and I could give a big shout out to so many different people on my team, but we have our leadership team, which consisted of Renee Johnson, myself, Sylvia, and Rochelle Dyson. And so, not Rochelle, Rachel Dyson. And so now we lead that whole thing. It is one of Epic's favorite benefits. And I love that I'm able to get those agents that are living in the 80% and this is real life happening. Every
Mhm.
single day I get messages and I record them on Epic Life, but, the agents love it so much and they're getting into production and they're getting out of that scarcity mindset, and it's, like, so amazing to see everything I have worked on for my entire life to help myself, I'm pouring into other agents and they're finding that success too. So that is my
I
my whole.
love that. I love that story, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you've shared it with us because as fellow servant leaders, those moments are blessed. They are like I'm just so grateful for them, and we've talked about how grateful we are to be a part of an
Yeah,
organization like Epic that just absolutely allows us the freedom to
yeah,
be able to pour into to individuals like that. And it's not a question of, well, is this in compliance? Or I mean, I know we have to be compliant, but it's more like, is this going to serve our agents and is this going to serve our greater good? If yes, then do it. Like we've
yeah.
always been encouraged to do it here, and I think that's such a blessing
That's
in itself.
huge. It is for sure.
Um, let's pivot, if we could, to the final segment of the show where I'm going to ask you a couple fun ones.
Okay.
And there's no right or wrong answer, by the way, for these. So answer as you feel from your heart, especially this first one, because this first one's it's a little bit out there. It's going to make you think. So um, if you're ready, let's go ahead. All right. So imagine for a moment, Don, it's your last day on Earth, and you can only preserve three items in your time capsule. What are those items and why?
Okay. So the first one that I think of is right here, literally on my desk. It's a handkerchief. and it's a white handkerchief that was my grandfather's handkerchief, and I
Oh,
keep it I know I don't wanna start crying, but my family means the world to me, and like most people's do, but we struggled so much, when I was younger. I was mostly raised by my grandparents because my parents struggled so much, so they loved me too, but they were just kids themselves, and they just were trying to figure life out themselves in their 20s, and so, as a baby, I was raised by my grandparents, and I just through all of those struggles, my grandpa was there, so losing him 24 years ago was the hardest thing that I ever had to get through, and I didn't I I remember being a kid thinking, "If he ever leaves, like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do," because, like, he's just such a big part of my support system, and by the way, I feel sorry for anyone I marry because they have a lot to live up to. My husband's done a really good job, though. So, that would be one because I just always love to have a piece of him, like, right by me. Number 2, 2 items. Oh my gosh, that I wanna leave. I would wanna leave something for my kids of mine so, I think that and I'm very sentimental, like, I think that it wouldn't be riches in anything. Everything I have or wear, which I just realized I forgot to put my rings on, but, like, I have a bracelet that I have given out to, like, all of my builders that are doing this stuff beside me. It's literally a $12 bracelet, but it has a meaning to it. So
yeah.
I think that I would have to find something like that that represents my children. I have 4
Yes.
sons, and being their mom has
Wow.
been the biggest joy of my life. Seeing all 4 of them grow into young men and find their own way, like, it's hard sometimes to let them go find their own way, but I have done that. So I'd have to leave them something like that. And then, and of course, for my husband too. And so, because he's one of the I mean, I have 5 boys.
Yeah, you have 5, let's be honest.
So, my family means the world to me, so I'd have to take that with me. And then I think another thing would be, and these are things I'm leaving in a box, like,
Well,
my kind of my
you're
legacy,
preserving them.
preserving.
They're gonna be preserved forever
Okay.
because of
So
the time capsule.
one of the other things, and I'm just gonna jump ahead because I haven't created it yet, but I really wanna create another piece of jewelry because, like, I have this necklace right here, and it's got a North Star on it,
Yeah.
and I was struggling, for some stuff that was happening in my life about 2 years ago, and I bought this necklace to help me remember what my North Star was, and for me, my North Star is my vision and my mission at Epic and my Agents of Abundance and all of the things I'm doing, and so I always wear this, and I remember, like, North Star, Dawn, like, you've got a purpose and you've gotta live it out, and so that's it. I wanna have a necklace like this made that it says AOA for Agents of Abundance,
Uh,
and I wanna be able to give that as a gift, so I'd love to throw one of those in there that represents my life's work.
oh, how cool.
So
How cool. I love that. That is wonderful, and it's funny, no matter who I ask this to, people are usually grounded, and they usually answer something around their family. It's
uh,
always at least one of the items is a family picture, a portrait, whatever it might be, something that's tied to their family. And I love that all 3 of your items were clearly tied to your family. So the second question is a little bit easier, but it's fun nonetheless. What is your definition of a real estate rock star?
hmm. Real estate rock star. I think that, I don't think that it's about the production that we do. I think it's about being able to step into your brave as a human being and play this role model for people in your community, agents that you serve, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, always keeping that space preserved that you are a leader and
Mhm.
lead with the servant's heart. I think that a real estate rock star would be someone who runs their business as they want to, who runs their financial stuff like they want to, who is building wealth while building others. And so I think that really it's going to be different for every single person. But for me, I think it's all about freedom because I love freedom. I want the freedom to work from where I want to work, do what I want to do, and live where I want to live. And I think that really by doing all those things, that's going to allow me to live that life of freedom that I have worked so hard for.
Well said. Bravo. Bravo. Miss Dawn, thank you so much for coming on today. I wouldn't be remiss if we didn't let people know where they can find and connect with you and your Agents of Abundance and all the great work that you're doing out there. Where's the best place to find and connect with you?
Best place to find all of my content, my podcast, my blog, everything is dawnloading.com.
There you have it, folks. Miss Dawn Loding dropping an absolute masterclass here today. We are so grateful you came on with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. It was such a pleasure to have you on. Finally, we've been talking about it for a while, so it's good to
Right.
finally have you on. Folks, we'll be here same time, same place next week. This is Justin Nimergood, your host of the Real Estate Rockstars, signing off. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.